Okay, so one of my questions is, how do you make your track list, and just like break down for me the track list and how you came up with the names.
So, um, well, the concept of the album was it was about that idea of young adulthood, but a huge, I feel like the most important thing, and this is my first project ever I like finished or released. It's a
Congratulations.
thank you so much, thank you. And why I feel like this was, I feel like this time around it was really those seeds that God instilled in me. But one of the, I feel like I was able to finish it because I had the right tools. And that one tool that I would say is like one of the themes of the album is emotional intelligence. I really tapped in with therapy and building my faith and understanding more about and you know and most importantly having a connection with God, because I will get in certain like uh, spaces of isolation, it would just be me. I wouldn't have these conversations with God and pray and stuff like that. And it just was this like survival mode, I felt like. Um, but the track list, the first track, and it's this I was just thinking about like the track list. I know I know my fault for like going off on so many different like tantrums and
Good.
stuff, but this is like another like very, it's a special. I don't think I was trying to make a masterpiece out of this one. It was like a more, I wanted to make it more authentic and accurate representation of like who I am and what I experience and how this could relate to somebody else going through the same things as me. I had my sister on, like had vocals on it. My best friend and brother Don was on tracks. My great friend Lando was on this track, and then I was recording vocals. And I always been like not confident about my voice, but I use my voice a lot, and I'm just, it's just a beautiful thing. But the first track, I called it Preamble, and I had like, I would say the first track was the hardest to like. I had I think 3 different versions. This is for it because I had everything else like kind of sort of figured out.
Right.
That last track was like the most important thing, because how do I want to, in my way it was like, how am I going to close out the story? I had the ending already. I had the middle. How do I want to start the story? So it was my ending for me. And it was what we spoke about, preamble being the first thing in the Constitution. Um, I had this project I wanted to make before. It was called Afro American Dream. Like an African American dream, but Afro and stuff like that. But it's that concept of the ones that guided us, teaching the idea of readiness. My sister starts off the song and the project as, you know what it means to be great. And then the way I chopped up the samples and stuff like that, and then used my vocals, it was talking about readiness. And oftentimes it's a question that we don't speak. We reflect for ourselves.
Right.
It's like an idea that's kind of pushed on others, like this pressure of having to be ready to like go to college or start our lives and stuff. But it's a question that we just need to sit with for a couple, and able to push forward. Dying to produce. Like we spoke about the title name and stuff like that. It's the thought of having to leave that nest, leave home, pave your own way. It being like kind of, in the beginning, leaving home and going to college or going to work and stuff, it feels, you look at the bright side, you look at the positives, not really, the reality really. So I'm, paving my own way. I could have this, I could be more independent, but we don't really understand what that takes to be independent for ourselves and stuff like that. Track 3, AmeriCorps, is the application of it. So like having to go on the job search, how difficult that could be to apply, the thought. And it's just like, it's just excitement because you're making you're making bread, you're making money, but it's like, also the struggle and the stress of, why am I not, able to, get a job and stuff like that. And, by the end, it's like you're able to get that job that, you were trying to, apply for. My favorite track is the fourth one. The favorite track is the most, like, I would say, hits with me the hardest. The fourth and the fifth one, but the fourth one, it hits the hardest with me. And it's the principle of, having to go to work and, the principle of application that's not, especially I feel like in that, the African, American, the black community, it's not spoken about enough. The first track, it's a 3-part track. The first track is about, just having to deal with, like, pressure. The pressure of having to make ends meet, trying to provide for your family. How, it's just about pressure.
Right.
And then by the end of that track, that it's like, oh, my mom thinks I'm under pressure. But it's just like kind of confidence. Oh, I feel like overconfidence that, you're gonna, gotta do what you have to do. Second track is about capability. I feel like, which is what corrupts you sometimes. I feel like, what the sample and the certain sound effects I use in it, it's like, are you capable enough to take a life, or are you capable of, doing a crime, and then other people are trying to live and provide for their families too. Capability could be, positive or negative thing that's not speaking about enough. And the third track is deciding to do the right thing. And I use like factory sounds and different things in it to portray like labor and it being a calm track too, but by the ending of it, it's like we realize the right thing at time is the most difficult thing, depending on the period and the circumstances in life. It could be overwhelming. It could be just emotionally, physically, and then at times we think, why even continue doing the right thing? Which is like, I feel like this is, the fourth one resonates me because of my, like, this faith. I feel like my thing is I always get, stuck in these like work cycles of, I have to get this done, I have to get this done. And then what keeps me doing the right thing and keeps me, have peace of mind and stuff like that is faith. Without faith, you could get lost in the work. You could get lost in what you're doing. And I feel like 5 is about, faith in, like what I spoke about. I think 5 is that, and it's about somebody I got to, like, learn about more and connect with more. It's about Jackie Robinson. I put highlights and stuff like that, and I look at somebody like that and it's like, that's who I want to be. Somebody that is, overcomes adversity and animosity with this knowing what he wants, what God instilled in him,
Right.
the vision. You know, I can't imagine the fear and the different, you know, emotions that he had to, you know, like just conquer within him. And it takes emotional intelligence to continue going with that and just, you know, not react. He had a lot of responses and not a lot about a reaction, because a reaction during that time could lose it all.
Yeah, it can.
You know, and yeah, I you know, I keep that, you know, idea with me at all times.
Not flesh, the spirit led. Got the Bible as a weapon, no limits, yeah.